gonna get wet. Hi, you okay? Let's just get you all evened out here. Wow, miraculously, it appears I did not kill the camera. Wow, what are the chances? There we go. Let's just back it up a little bit and start this day over again. Good morning. I'm working in the aviary. I'm making progress. It probably doesn't look like it. Come on in. I'll show ya. So everything on this half, well, not the tree yet, but all of that stuff is clean. All of the stuff out in the entry is clean. Everything from that tree, that direction, has not been cleaned yet. So that's a lot. But, yeah. So now I'm trying to decide what next. Oh, I gotta move that guy. Happy New Year, by the way. I haven't videoed a lot of stuff because everything I've been working on does not lend itself to videos, case in point. So, but I'll show you and explain some of the things that have been going on that are kind of fun and interesting. Maybe worth capturing. One thing is that I was contacted by a gentleman who is working in Africa who wanted to send me some audio files of wild birds and video the response of my birds to what they were hearing. So that was really cool, and I've sent that information off. I don't know to what purpose really, but anyway, happy to comply. Hopefully I did a good job, but you can't really video me videoing audio. Okay, so that's one thing. Yeah, and I've been reading a lot about the new legislation that's coming in the United States, trying to understand how that's going to affect the finch keeping. So that's, that's me doing this, trying to understand the terminology. So yeah, so there's that. And then I think in my last video, the lavender finches were just building this nest, or starting to build this nest. They had 4 eggs, but they were all infertile. You might remember that their first clutch was in one of the reed balls that I kind of use for all the birds. So I was curious to see if they would be interested in this half-open nest box. And so, yeah, they were, but I don't know if that had anything to do with the fertility issue or not. But anyway, so that's what's going on with these guys. And then the purple grenadiers hatched out one chick. 2 other fertile eggs were like within a day or hours of hatching. But when the first chick hatched, it freaked out the parents and they wouldn't go back in the nest. So I wasn't able to save any of the chicks. And then I put them on hiatus so they could get strong and healthy and grow up a little bit, because it's possible that they were just very young and they didn't really understand what was happening. But also purple grenadiers are hard. So anyway, this is the female. She's very, very friendly, as the violet ears and the purple grenadiers are very friendly, and a couple of mealworms later they'll be your best friend. So I just thought it would be fun to get a nice picture of her up close. You can see how her feather condition is not that great, so she needs a rest. Let's see, now the Peel's parrot finches have built a nest in this reed ball, and they laid 3 eggs. 1 egg ended up falling out and cracking on the floor, or was tossed out, I'm not sure. And it was fertile, and I would guess it was about 4 days old, so not much development, but definitely blood vessels. And there are 2 eggs left in the nest, and they're about 2 days away from hatching, 2 to 3 days away. So they're very skittish. The female especially is very skittish. This is the female. So we'll have to see how that goes, but hopefully in the next video I'll have a happy update on these guys. So then the black-cheeked waxbills, these are the babies from earlier this year. In case you don't do this, you put millet spray on the top of the cage. It's kind of a hoot. The agile parrot finches, some of the waxbills think it's a hoot to pick the millet out, and they don't poop on it. But anyway, okay, so the black-cheeked waxbills did hatch out a chick. This is Mama. I can't remember where they were at in the last video, but anyway, they also nested in a reed ball, and there were so many dummy nests. I actually had a really hard time finding the actual nest chamber, so I didn't really check on them very often. And then all of a sudden, this little guy popped out. And that's Mommy. She's very tolerant. And I believe this is a little boy, and he already has a name, which is Squeaky. I bet you can't guess why. Squeaky is the big fat one, by the way. Mom is the tiny svelte one. And he's just he's living with Mom and Dad. He's like a teenager that won't move out. I tried separating him and putting him in with the other black-cheeked, and he was miserable. He just wanted to be with his Mom and Dad. So I put him right back. So he's hanging out, and there's Daddy. So this is just one of the mixed flights with some of the original import black-cheeked and some of the babies. And that's Broccoli. So they're all doing good. Waiting for their chance in the aviary in the spring. But that brings me to the kind of the big news, I guess. But first, a song from the violet-eared male. So you may remember that violet-eared male came to live with me in trade for a female Peter's twin spot to go make up a pair with another breeder. And it turned out right after I published that video, I got contacted by a gentleman who had a pair of Peter's twin spots. Total surprise. Had no idea. And he loaned them to me to see what I could do with them. And they have fledged out 3 chicks. end up making a special video just focusing on this species because they're kind of different. You know, for example, you can see they nest on the ground. They're quite different from the greenback twin spots. The parents are good parents, but there's been some tricky little navigating that I've had to do because they can be also a bit aggressive. You can see, for example, the female is plucked pretty bald. But here's just a couple of clips about the chicks as they're growing up. They are within a few days of being independent at the timing of this video. So by the time you see it, they will probably be eating on their own. I should also mention, because I think some people that watch these videos are located elsewhere, in particularly in Europe. I haven't looked at the bands yet on these guys, so I don't know who bred them, but if you're watching this and these are your parent birds, thank you. They've been great parents. I appreciate it. You can see Dad is worried about the camera. So they're fairly stealthy parents. It's been a little bit tricky for that reason as well. So he stalls for a little bit and then he comes in the back door to feed them. But just wanted to reassure you that he does in fact feed his little babies. Okay, but cleaning the aviary, of course, is super cool. And then resetting up the aviary, what changes I'm going to make, is going to be super, super fun. I did decide, as soon as I get the parts for it, I'm going to turn that panel right there into a sliding door. And it's going to be blocked in with rodent screen and hardware cloth and bug screen. So it's a door to nowhere right now, but it will be great for airflow and it's easier to get to. And then because the big fan is there, it'll draw air through. And because the sun goes like this, it should produce a really big swath of nice direct sunlight when it's open. So there's that. Okay. So I don't know. I'm just gonna clean. Whatever. You guys don't care. But I'll videotape a little bit. I'm always a little leery about what I'm going to find, you know, when I move this stuff, which is never anything scary. I just have that feeling. As light as these are compared to rocks, they're not actually light. Take that back. That is a mouse nest. Remember when I got mice in the aviary? Okay, I gotta move the camera because now you have to go outside and get decontaminated. That was not a pleasant surprise, I find. This is just an enzyme cleaner. See, aren't you glad? Aren't you glad I didn't videotape all of this? If it looks like it's spraying me with poopy water, it is. That's right, you learn to keep your mouth shut. Okie. Steam will take care of the rest of that. Well, you get the idea, and this is going to go on for a while. So I'll catch you on the next video when it's clean or done. Thanks for watching.